Lucas Browne and Dillian Whyte have been engaging in a war of words on social media over the past few days, as you can see on screen. Lucas Browne is apparently looking for somebody to face him for the WBA regular heavyweight world title, and Dillian Whyte was more than happy to put his name forward, and they got into some type of verbal altercation, slinging mud back and forth. You know how it goes. It's all good fun. It's all WWE style entertainment. While Dillian Whyte is very keen on it for obvious reasons, he wants to become a world champion, he wants an opportunity, Lucas Browne seems pretty dismissive of Dillian Whyte. He's looking at fighters who have a bigger profile than Dillian Whyte, fighters who have actually fought and won at world level. That's what it seems Lucas Browne is looking for rather than a Dillian Whyte. And as I mentioned previously, Lucas Browne's name has been linked to people like David Haye as a potential opponent for that WBA regular world title. So when you're talking about David Haye, that is a whole different level in terms of money than somebody like a Dillian Whyte. Make of that what you will. However, what do you guys feel about a fight between Lucas Browne and Dillian Whyte, just theoretically? How do you see that fight going? Who do you think would win? We know that Lucas Browne is a tremendous puncher. We know he's a very brave man. He showed heart and a lot of guts and punching power, climbing up off the floor to knock out Ruslan Chagayev. He was behind in that fight. He was getting beaten in that fight. But he did show a hell of a lot of guts. Dillian Whyte, on the other hand, has also shown guts in the Anthony Joshua fight. We know he's got heart too. So who would have the better skills? By the way, both guys are the same height, in case you didn't know. Both guys are 6'4". I'm not sure who's got the longer arms. Neither one of them have got short arms, I can tell you that. Some people may debate about who's the better boxer out of the two. I think it will be an interesting fight, personally. I can understand Lucas Browne at this stage of his career not being interested in a Dillian Whyte fight. He is 35 or 36 years old at the moment, so he really is looking for the big money fights at this point in time. And Dillian Whyte is not quite there yet. He might be in a few fights' time if he keeps winning, but at the moment, he's not quite at the level where he'd be generating serious sums of money to make him an attractive proposition for somebody like a Lucas Browne. But yeah, let me know how you feel a theoretical fight would go between the two of them. Some people are still skeptical about Dillian Whyte. They say he hasn't looked impressive at any point in his career other than when he landed one left hook against Anthony Joshua. And there are many people who say that's literally it. That's all he did against Joshua is land one left hook. There's nothing else that he did in the fight. I beg to differ. I had Dillian Whyte winning at least 2 rounds in that Anthony Joshua fight. And I know, wow, 2 rounds in a 7-round fight, that's not a big deal. Well, it is a big deal when nobody else has won a round against Anthony Joshua, from what I can recall. Who else has won a round against Joshua? So winning 2 rounds is a big deal, and he won at least 2 rounds. Some people might dispute that, but I urge you to go watch Anthony Joshua versus Dillian Whyte with my commentary, because I point out certain things that the Sky commentators were not pointing out at the time because they were overly excited and what have you. But I'll leave a link in the description below. You can go watch Anthony Joshua versus Dillian Whyte with my guest commentary. That's right. There'll be no Sky commentary on there. There'll just be me commentating. I recommend you watch it. As I say, I'll leave a link in the description below and maybe in the comment section as well. So have a look at that and see what you think. I reckon Dillian Whyte won at least 2, maybe even 3 rounds in the fight. So he did well against Joshua, better than anybody else has. But I do agree that outside of that, he hasn't looked particularly impressive, especially since the Joshua fight. He's been in there with journeyman and he hasn't been troubled by the journeyman. It's not like he's been close to losing any of these fights. And he did fight Dave Allen, who's not a journeyman. Dave Allen was undefeated going into that fight, but he was very green. I think it's fair to say that. So Whyte hasn't been blasting people out in dominant fashion the way a lot of people want him to and expect him to. And because of that, they're saying, you know what, is he even that good? Was it just a fluke left hook against Joshua and because Joshua's emotions were involved and because he was still hurt for a round and a bit after that left hook, maybe it made Whyte look better than he actually is. Maybe it flattered him a little bit. I guess that's possible. We'll find out in due course. So anyway, let me stop waffling. Lucas Browne, Dillian Whyte going at it on social media. Who would win in a theoretical fight between the two of them? Drop your comments in the comment section below. It's your boy Hatman, I'm out.